My name is Stephen Bizwiski. I used to work at the Brookhaven National Laboratory in Upton, New York. I manage data acquisition for S-News or the Supernova Early Warning System. Not that it matters now. I'm not a physicist, but I understood what it meant. Several neutrino detection systems in the world fed data into the network. That way, astronomers could prepare themselves before this rare event starts. I'm an incurable night owl. Nobody at work will schedule a meeting with me before 11 o'clock a.m. But once I started, I stayed until the job was done. It was 7:30 on the 31st of October. To me, this was just another ordinary Tuesday evening. But to millions of candy-hungry kids, it was Halloween. I never liked crowds or parties. Writing a proposal for expansion of the data storage racks sounded like more fun than the campus Halloween cake party. As I took a swing from my 2-liter bottle of Diet Mountain Dew, an instant messenger window popped open in a group chat. Someone from every measuring site was in the chat. Neutrino research isn't a huge group around the world. All the research team know who I am and that I work late. But this was the first time they brought me into a worldwide emergency chat like this. Chihiro Ogino at Tsubaki, the Super Kamiokande detector under Mount Ikeno in Japan, messaged, "Steve, please confirm that this neutrino alert isn't a false alarm. Has anyone changed in the network? Our readings don't make sense." I was shocked, so I wrote back, "Chihiro, the last maintenance was 4 days ago. Nobody has reported any faults. All connectivity is solid. What is wrong?" I knew an alert meant that more than one station detected a neutrino within 10 seconds. That was an incredible unlikely event. The Ice Cube Observatory at the Ice Pole rang with excitement when they found 28 extra solar neutrinos in 2 years. I pulled up the data feeds. Every site was jumping. I looked again. It was impossible unless a very close star was going over. Dog at Halo in Canada message, "Could it be a Halloween prank? I don't know how. Observations arrived encrypted over the VPN. Dr. Han would fire any BNN worker and then call the FBI to prosecute that person." I solved CNN.com. They have a video of sky watchers in Red Square in Moscow, Halloween trick-or-treaters in Iowa who enjoyed the bright nights and parties at Rio's beach. I became nervous. Could I be the only person on earth who took Secure Team 10's video on YouTube seriously? The chat message flew back and forth. One from Piero at the large volume detector in Italy caught my eye. The first line read, "Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse." And no, not the Michael Keaton movie. Betelgeuse is a red giant star in the constellation of Orion, the Arab named after a giant armpit. Everyone in the field agreed that Betelgeuse looked ready to go supernova. Comrades, I've been on the phone with Acertric Observatory and the VLT telescope in Chile. Both facilities confirmed that Betelgeuse has become asymmetric. They observed the formation of a dense gas shell. Its cores could collapse at any moment. Unfortunately, they find no sign of Doppler shift from the gas emissions of the shell. Everything indicates the axis of the Betelgeuse is pointing right for us. It is time for everyone to start praying. This wasn't a panic-gram for the ignorant. It was a prophecy by an expert. Earth lay in the firing line of one of the most powerful and dangerous phenomena in the universe, the gamma-ray burst of a supernova. I thought of warning somebody, but who? Nobody would listen. I grabbed my cigarettes and took the stairs to the basement. I crawled under a large air conditioning condenser. It was cramped and filthy, but with tons of metal and cooling water around me, I figured I'd have the best chance. As I huddled under the touchwork, I checked my watch and did a few mental calculations. If the burst didn't just strip off the Earth's entire atmosphere, everything between California and India would be irradiated. Half of humanity would die. I tried not to open the pack. I told myself that I wasn't smoking. My hands lit up a cigarette anyway. Between pulls, I wondered if I was an idiot. My therapist said I always rationalized an excuse to avoid social events. Was I just self-justifying again? It felt like being inside one of those made in Bulgarian horror movies from SYFY channel. I had faith in Piero. If he thought there was a threat, I believed him. After a couple of cigarettes, a flashlight shined in my eyes.
You're puffing Marlboros in my hair at last.
Bob from maintenance said. I peered up at him. He had dressed as a pink angel with taffety wings.
You're hiding under there so nobody knows you're smoking again.
Not exactly.
Stink so much I smelled your butt from down the hall. Smoke outside. The party by the Central Road is rocking. Everyone's drinking cold brew and enjoying the lights. It's the show of the century.
He pointed at the window before walking to it.
Will you look at that? The whole sky is glowing now.
I craned my head around and saw one giant cloud of light with streams of yellow, purple, red, crimson, and blue. Get away from there, I shouted. That's a gamma ray burst. Everything turned into a disco. It's gamma ray, it can kill you. Nothing light can't kill you. Besides, it can't be gamma ray, it's not green. I gave up in frustration. The one person I tried to save wouldn't listen. Unfortunately, Bob learned about gamma ray from Dr. Bruce Banner and the Incredible Hulk right after I left the power field. I wasn't surprised. PSEG Long Island went out. Even a smaller solar flare overloaded the transformer in Quebec in 1980s. However, the computing center had a massive diesel backup generator. It should have kicked in when the mains cut out. We tested that monster 2 weeks ago. I was alone in the dim emergency lights. I smoked half the pack before the show outside stopped. My watch still worked when I got up in the morning. The little computer inside hadn't fried, so that's a good thing. Maybe my DNA wasn't fried either. Did Earth have an ozone layer? I looked through the loading dock outside and saw a harsh alien light, brighter than Death Valley in summer and even uglier. The electricity was still out. There was nobody else in the building. Everyone was cold. Everything was cold and far too quiet. I found Bob's welding outfit and scrounged for rain gear. I covered every inch before I stepped out. Death was everywhere. The trees looked burnt. Dead birds, dead insects, and dead people covered the dead grass. The gamma rays overloaded their entire nervous system and stopped their hearts. The dying people were even worse. We must be in the middle of a giant ozone hole. I watched their skin burn away. A few begged for help. Several had been my colleagues. I screamed and stumbled away. They had already died. They just didn't know. As I retreated to the computer system, I glanced back at the carnage. I had no idea what to do next.